What's going on, guys? Over here, and welcome back to another episode of my F1 2017 mod career mode with Esteban Ocon in his Force India car. We're here for episode number 6 today for the Monaco Grand Prix, and for this episode I thought I'd mix things up a little bit. Seeing as we're here at Monaco, usually the AI aren't the absolute best around Monaco. Obviously it's a track where the driver makes the difference, so generally you can race quite well against the AI, so I thought we'll mix it up, make it kind of interesting, challenging in this video. So we're going to start from the back and do a bit of a last question mark challenge here in the career mode episode with Ocon in the Force India. The Force India is not too bad of a car. Sergio Perez qualified just behind the usual suspects, Ferraris, the Mercedes, and the two Red Bull cars, so I think it'll go well. And obviously with the strategy just being a one-stop there, I think we can just push flat out, not too much tyre wear to contend with, unlike last time out at Spain where we had an absolute disaster. So we're going to get straight into it, and we're going to go to 5 red lights to the Monaco Grand Prix, and we're underway from P20 on the grid, obviously, and so we'll try and nip down the inside of both the Sauber cars, look into turn 1, trying to point out where we can go. Looks like Verline's gone down my inside as well, so both of us trying to make a position up on one of the Renault cars of Jolyon Palmer there. So now yellow flags behind us, so momentarily we can't make an overtake, but now can we try and maybe make a move around the outside into Casino? Not going to work with Nico Hulkenberg, we just have to try and stick behind him. But then as we go down into the end of sector 1, we'll cheekily just dive it down the inside, very close stuff there, locking up on the right tire for good measure, but we'll get the place up into 16th place. Then we hit a bit of a roadblock here with Kevin Magnussen. We have to feed him through this one of the slowest corners in Formula 1, of course, and just kind of be a bit patient here. But a good lap 1 for us, and actually takes us up to lap 3 to even maybe try and size up a move on Kevin Magnussen there. So for a good 2 laps there, we're just kind of in that kind of traffic jam really of the classic Monaco Grand Prix. But as we swing through now toward the swimming pool section, trying to size up a move and really trying to set our eyes on this move, that kind of I guess at this point kind of infamous move at Raskas down the inside. Lovely stuff there, momentarily going down to neutral for a second there as I'm rapidly shifting down the gears to make that move, but always very sweet to do on the game. One of my favorite moves really at Raskas down the inside, and we make it work very nicely there on Magnussen. Now we're going to try it on his teammate Romain Grosjean as Hamilton sets the fast lap of the Grand Prix. This time though we opt for the kind of switchback line almost down the inside of the final corner there, up into 14th place. A little bit wayward on the exit, but we make it work. Open DRS, and now we can try and get on the back of Stoffel Vandoorne, but making really good progress. It's lap 5. Remember, unlike the last question mark challenges I actually do for the real life Grand Prix, this is not a 25% race. This is our career mode race, 39 laps, so we've got plenty of laps to actually go to try and get up the order. So now we'll try and feed it through on Stoffel Vandoorne in the same exact place once again into Raskas down the inside, catch Vandoorne napping even more than we did against Magnussen. Now I had a glimpse of maybe having a move down the inside of Kvyat, didn't quite work. We get even more wayward on the exit, nearly hit the wall there, so thankfully not, but up into 13th place. So good progress here through turn 1. We get a pretty good run through on Kvyat, so I think maybe I can have a go up as we climb up the hill towards Casino. As we go rapidly down the gears in the 3rd gear, I'm going to have a look around the outside, but then the understeer and dirty air kicks in. We swing back through even more understeer, and we nearly hit the wall again, so going to have to be a little bit patient here. Plenty of understeer through sector 1, especially when you're behind cars. But then as we move on to lap 6, down the inside, literally into swimming pool there, very cheeky move on Danny Kvyat up into 12th place. So only 2 places off those points paying positions. We can see those with Lance Stroll and Fernando Alonso at the moment. Alonso doing a decent enough job holding up Lance Stroll, the first of the Williams cars this afternoon. And I say holding up because if you look at the mini map there's quite a sizable gap from Alonso to the next car, which I believe may be the 2nd Toro Rosso of Carlos Sainz. And then as we move later into the same exact lap, we really rapidly have caught up Lance Stroll, so Alonso really is struggling a little bit for pace at the moment on these ultra soft tyres. Can we try and maybe make a move on Lance Stroll down the inside? We had a look, not going to lie, but then we do the classic switchback like we did on Romain Grosjean down the inside into the final corner, and then surprisingly, even though I get this poor exit, we open DRS, and this is how much lack of speed Alonso has in the Honda engine compared to my Mercedes engine. We go down the inside on the same exact lap just after we make the move on Lance Stroll. So all afternoon so far in the opening 8 laps, just been struggling at that final corner to really get a run on any cars, but against the McLaren Honda, able to get that run with DRS and make that move. So I was quite surprised actually that I was getting a 2-for-1 move on that main straight there. I thought I was just going to get Lance Stroll and have to wait another lap to try and get Alonso. And then so we move on to lap 10 now. So a couple of laps later to actually close up that gap to, it was Carlos Sainz just behind Felipe Massa. So a few laps, but we now caught him up. So can we try and make a move on the Spaniard? Once again, sizing up the undercut move there, going a little bit wide into Raskas on the entry, straightening up the car basically to get a really good shot out of the exit of Raskas basically with second gear. Really is working very, very well for us. So up into 9th place now. So well into the points paying positions. We just about narrowly missed breaking a bit of our front wing there as we tap the wall. Little love tap, it's fine on lap 11 there. Now we rapidly close up to Felipe Massa again, going all afternoon, going very, very wide into that left-hander. So we're going to have to be careful of that because that may come back to bite me later on if we're not careful enough. But we close up to Felipe Massa once again. This time I did think about going down the inside, but Massa was kind of parking his car quite tactically, not going to lie. So we have to just wait and open the DRS down the back straight as we move on to lap 12 now into turn 1. Gained quite a bit on Felipe, so I think maybe we can try and make a move into Casino finally. We've tried it twice now before and it's failed twice, so third time lucky. Maybe round the outside down to third gear, feed the car through, plant the power on the exit down the inside to the right hander, very, very close to the wall, and we have made it. And that is a sweet move, sweet move up into 8th place. And now we've got another pocket of clean air towards Max Verstappen. Quite surprisingly, you can see in the mini-map there, that's Sergio Perez ahead of Max Verstappen at this stage. So Perez doing a good enough job, and Verstappen struggling for some pace, and it looks like, I'm assuming, his teammate up there fighting the Ferrari and Mercedes car. So surprising really that Verstappen's AI is not performing too well so far in this Grand Prix. As we move on towards lap 14, we've got the speed, we've got the DRS, we'll send it down the inside into turn 1, and we've actually made the move on Verstappen into turn 1. So Verstappen very much struggling for some sort of reason there, and we're up into P6 now. And I think it's P6 because I believe Vettel's already made his pit stop there quite early on lap 14, because I think we've gained another position in all of that. So now as we move on, and we're closing up on Sergio Perez, but there's yellow flags up there. There's been an accident, and Perez hits the wall, and it's Ricciardo and Bottas parking it up there. There's been some sort of crash or contact, and it's Bottas and Ricciardo sideways on as we come through. We have to go through between them a little bit, like two columns, and we've gone down the inside of them, and now we're up into P2 as Sergio Perez makes his pit stop on lap 16. And there's Hamilton. He's come out of the pits and looks like he's got a whole pit stop advantage on us, and I think he's come out on ultra soft tyres. So Hamilton may be going for the 2-stop today, but Hamilton, it won't matter for him because he's an entire pit stop ahead, so he can afford to do a 2-stop against us. But we're up into P2 now. I don't know what the position will be once we come in for our pit stop. Obviously the two Ferrari cars seemingly not involved in that crash, but yeah, calamities there for Valtteri Bottas and Daniel Ricciardo. So let's look at a replay now. So there's the two Mercedes cars leading the way, I'm assuming 1-2, catching up to the Sauber. So Hamilton goes through on the Sauber, Bottas down the inside of the Sauber car, and oh, his rear, I think that was his rear left, gets clipped there. So he goes for a little spin, then he tries to park it, and I'm assuming at this point he's waiting for Ricciardo, but then he comes through and just parks it, and then Ricciardo is left to park it, and then Perez hits the wall, taps Ricciardo around there, and then you can see we go through the middle of those two, and then Verstappen hits Ricciardo, and then I think the Toro Rosso comes and makes it even more misery. And then all this time Bottas is caught just not knowing what to do really. So yeah, a bit of a awkward situation for the AI cars there. I don't really know what went on there. A little bit of a silly situation, to be honest, with Bottas and Ricciardo. Yeah, let's hope for a little bit more cleverness from the next game, shall we? Into that chicane at Monaco. Then you can see one of the Williams cars comes in for the pit stop, I think, or gets held up there. We come in for our pit stop eventually on the end of lap 16. So we came in on that very next lap onto a set of super soft tires. So we're going to the end of this Grand Prix. No qualms, just like the real life Grand Prix. It's going to be a one-stop here at Monaco. Raikkonen swings by there, but it looks like we are going to stay ahead of Valtteri Bottas there. So we are up into a net P4, and somehow we've actually jumped Sergio Perez. I mean, we weren't very close to Perez. We could see him up ahead, but we weren't, uber close to him. But somehow in the pit stop phases, we've actually managed to jump him there. So fair enough. So we move on now to lap 20. 4 laps later, it's taken us to catch up to Kimi Raikkonen now. So can we try and bout for the podium position once again through the last corner? We catch up to the car, but then just down the back straight, can't catch him enough with the exit we get, and even with DRS. So on lap 21, it's not going to be an overtake on Raikkonen. As we move on to the end of lap 21, though, on towards lap 22. Once again, closing up into the last corner. Once again, with DRS wide open, unable to get that run. So it's not going to happen here, I don't think. We're going to have to wait a little bit longer onto lap 24 now. As you can see up ahead, it's actually Vettel there as well, being held up by a blue flag car of Pascal Wehrlein. And the two Ferrari cars we've seen so many times in real life being annoyed by blue flags. And we've made the overtake move, so thank you very much. I think that happened again. I think last time out in Spain, wasn't it? In Wehrlein was the one holding up Raikkonen. And so once again, thank you very much, Pascal Wehrlein. Holds up Raikkonen, an absolute treat into turn 1. And we make that overtake there. And so much to Raikkonen's dismay, we're up the position, up into the podium positions. And now you can see just up ahead, up the road, is Sebastian Vettel. We can see just going off in the distance. So by lap 25 into Raskas, we've closed up rapidly onto Sebastian Vettel. Once again through the final corner, though, not unable to get the exit off that final corner, even with DRS. The Ferrari engine also obviously working well, but we do set the fast lap of the Grand Prix, so we are going very well indeed with the Force India. So this is why maybe you guys can now understand why I wanted to make it a little bit more fun and challenging by starting at the back at the Monaco Grand Prix, because you're always generally, not just this mod, but generally in career mode at Monaco, you can go quite rapidly. This is Ultimate AI, but on the mod, the AI don't go as fast as I can around Monaco, unfortunately. So for the sake of making the video a little bit more challenging, starting in the back has worked out as we go round the outside of the blue flag car of Jolyon Palmer, just about make it through, and then we go through and swing round the outside of Marcus Ericsson. Then all of that, Vettel's lost a tiny bit of time there. So as we swing through into the chicane, as we go on towards the final sector, we really rapidly close up on Vettel, and now we can try and size ourselves up for once again a move maybe into Raskas as we go through swimming pool and just try and compose ourselves, swing through on the left-hander, hit the bump, narrowly just tap the wall there, and now close up on Vettel. We actually get very, very hot and bothered into that corner. We lock up on the front right tire through the final corner, once again closing right up to the gearbox, but it doesn't look like, again, we'll have the speed to go down the inside into turn 1 like we did on Verstappen, so we have to be patient and wait for lap 29 now with 10 laps to go in this Grand Prix. Can we finally make this move on Sebastian Vettel as we swing through towards Raskas? It's not going to be the move into Raskas necessarily, but once again, sizing ourselves up for the undercut move, the switchback move down the inside for the final corner. We leave Vettel the room, open DRS, and narrowly miss the wall on the right-hand side. Vettel's actually going to get enough overspeed there on the left-hand side, so we go defensive into the inside. He tries the move around the outside, not going to work. We defend quite well, and we're going to keep P2, and that is going to be a pretty damn fantastic position. Unfortunately for us, Hamilton is long gone, 17 seconds ahead of us after all of that battling with the two Ferrari cars. So we move on to the last lap of the Grand Prix. I just want to point this out. Hamilton's still on his set of ultra soft tyres. I just want to point that out. I don't know what quite's gone on there, but I have a feeling Hamilton definitely did not make a second pit stop onto super soft tyres. So technically, do I not deserve the win because Hamilton should be disqualified for that? I don't know. Let me know what you thought in the comments below of that. I'm just going to point that out. But we come through for a really great second place. That was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun coming from last, P20 to P2. Obviously, I will admit we got very lucky with Bottas and Ricciardo kind of crashing themselves out effectively. And obviously, Perez losing a front wing. I think that's actually maybe how we got it. In his pit stop phase, I think Perez may have changed his front wing. So that's why we got that position quite easily in the pit stop phases. But all in all, still a very, very good challenge and still a very, very good career mode episode in terms of for us in the Force IndyCar to get second place there. That's a good 18 points for the championship, with Hamilton getting another win on the bounce there in this career mode. Now he's up into first place of the Drivers' Championship now, 110 points to his teammate, 9 points adrift there with 101 points now, and it's all changed there with Raikkonen moving down to third place now. So it was a Finn 1-2, it's now a Finn 2-3. Vettel keeps fourth place just about there, and I rapidly close up on him though with that second place there, with fifth place in the standings with 78 points there, comfortably still ahead of Max Verstappen and Daniel Ricciardo. So far, so good, doing the job with the Red Bull cars. You can see as we move on to constructors in third place there, ahead of the Red Bull cars, 81 to 61. So that's all good. I'm sure Vijay Mallya is very, very happy with that, and the Mercedes guys are very happy, 211 points to 162. But guys, if you have enjoyed that last to first challenge effectively in the career mode, smash the like button. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. Let me know, as I said, about that Hamilton thing. I'm pretty sure he deserved the disqualification because I don't think he changed onto super softs. I don't think so. Unless I missed a third pit stop where he changed back onto ultras, I'm pretty sure he maybe should have got a disqualification for not obeying the tyre rules. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. But yeah, as I said, let me know what you thought about any other stuff in the video. If you're new around here, then do get subscribed for weekly Formula 1 content. I've been Ever. Hope you enjoy the rest of your day, and I'll see you guys next time.